Welcome back to the homestead. I am Graham Wright. Sorry there was no video last week. We were out of town for the last 10 days. We took a trip down to Texas, which you people who homestead in Texas, you are a different breed. It was so hot down there. It's like 100 degrees every day, basically. I think the cool day was 96. So it's good to be back home in North Carolina where the weather is not trying to kill you all the time. So let's do a quick garden tour. So obviously being gone, we had someone taking care of our animals. The animals are all doing well. They did a good job. There's been a lot of growth in those last couple of days. Let's go ahead and run through this real quickly and show you kind of how the garden is growing. You can see the tomato are doing really well. They're growing strong. And we're at the point where we actually need to start to trellis them. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like the Florida weave, I think is what it's called, where you run the line between them and then you have that go up. So the brassicas are doing okay. Something has come through and has eaten the tops of them, as you can see in that one that I zoomed in on. I don't know if it's a rabbit or if it's bugs of some sort, but it's only on that one. The rest of them do have a little bit of nibbles on them, but nothing insane. The pepper plants are also doing really well, and those cherry tomatoes that we planted in between them are doing really well. The cherry tomatoes look really nice. They're really bushy right now. And the peppers are growing, which is what we are expecting. Again, it's still early in the season, so there's nothing to harvest yet. But all in all, doing pretty well. So over here in our Two Sisters garden, we have the watermelon is growing, which is nice. And the corn is starting to come up as well, which is also nice. It's kind of hard to tell what is corn and what is like grass, because they do look very similar. But you can see where the corn is because it is in like a nice straight row. And you can obviously see what the watermelon seed or watermelons look like. The chicken run is creating compost like we want it to, and the chickens are laying their eggs. So that's all good right there. And then let's go over and do a little rabbit update as well. So our rabbits, we're down to just the two. That little bunny didn't survive. It did for a few days, but it just wasn't doing great. But we're not gonna let that scare us off from breeding rabbits. So we took one of our rabbits, Clover, the other doe we had, and we put her in with Chocolate Bunny so that they could breed. And because Chocolate Bunny's enclosure is big enough to handle 3 rabbits, they've just been in there this entire time. So let me show you where they were at, and we'll go from there. Okay, so you can clearly see the area that the rabbits were in. They ate this all the way down to the ground, which is fantastic. And this is now where they're at. We do give them a little bit of pellet, but largely we try to make sure that they're eating the grass that we have here. So, and they are doing a great job at that. They are digging some holes. You can kind of see right back in here. There's a hole dug over there. And I know if I go inside like the actual house area that they've dug holes in there as well. So we might need to adjust our wiring that's on the bottom. I don't think they could get out. Like, they're pretty chunky rabbits, but you know, domestic rabbits aren't the brightest bulbs in the knife drawer. So if they run off, they won't run off too far. I can recapture them and put them back in. So yeah, that's kind of what's been going on the homestead. Everything is completely overgrown, the grass and everything, because obviously we were gone for 10 days and it's springtime still. So things are growing. We do have new arrivals coming to the homestead in a couple of days. We have our first small batch of meat chickens, which will be here. We're doing Cornish cross just because they grow so quickly. And then we do have a small batch of Red Rangers coming in the end of August as well. So small new things happening on the homestead. The compost pile is doing pretty good. I mean, I could show you that. It's just a pile of dirt basically, which is what you want. So our compost pile looks good. We're gonna start another compost pile here to get breaking down, because our goal is to become self-sufficient in compost this year. I don't want to have to buy in compost again. So the goal is to just create as much of it ourselves, and we can do that because we have wood chips that get delivered. We have plenty of nitrogen in the grass, obviously the chicken manure, all of that. So there's plenty of things that we can do to build compost. So this is where the compost is currently. You can see that we've got like the soil starting to form in there. Things are starting to break down. There's still a good amount of chunks left in here. So this isn't totally ready yet. And we probably need to put a little more moisture in there because it's a little dry. So we're gonna make sure we grab some water and add some water into it as well. So when you're making a compost pile, the easiest way to do it is to do a 2-to-1 ratio. So you wanna do 2 parts of your browns to 1 part green. Then you just wanna layer it all together. So we'll start with a base layer of browns, then we'll bring in the greens, browns, greens, etc. until we have a 1 cubic meter pile of compost. Anyway, just a quick small status update for y'all on the garden and the homestead. It's end of spring, so we should start getting food here soon. That's the thing with homesteading. It's a lot of upfront work and then you reap the rewards later. Delayed gratification and all of that. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next one and see you again.